Elections have consequences. Just watch this.
Governor of Massachusetts just closing a community sports center for 4 months to house migrants, and locals there letting her know they are not happy about this decision.
Maura, why do you think it's okay to take out resources from the citizens of Massachusetts?
I gotta go. You know, we're everywhere in the state.
Right.
You know,
No, that's not an excuse. You serve us, not these illegals. Not these illegals.
That's the problem. We need the housing bill passed.
No, you don't. You need to deport them. You need to deport them. Lame excuses.
Y'all give a fuck about the motherfuckers that was born and fucking raised here. Y'all raised the fucking rich so fucking high. Can't afford to live here, but y'all gonna bring some other motherfuckers here? That doesn't fucking add up. It doesn't make no fucking sense. None. I'm fucking homeless. I work a full-time job, 40 hours, and can't pay to live here. How the fuck are y'all gonna bring somebody else here? Don't make no fucking sense. None.
And I saw your outrage. Why are you outraged?
Because this place was, like you said, it's free. It was a place for our children. Our children, I have 4 children, and it's sad. You know, I have 4 boys, you know, and we really don't have nothing in the community that's free for us. Don't get me wrong, it's great that they want to help the immigrants, but what about the Americans that are already here? What about the people that are already here that don't have homes, that don't have jobs, that are sleeping on the street already? These people came from the airport here, probably on boats, probably on buses, and probably all for free. Now they're getting stipends, they're getting what else? I need money for me and my kids, and I was born here. Like, you know, I know life is a struggle in itself, but this is not the answer to help them. Now it's going to destroy our community more and mess our children up more. Like, this is sad. I know a lot of people don't even know about this. I came here last night with my aunt, saw a lot of stadies, a lot of police, and this paper wasn't there yet. They just did this probably 2, 3 in the morning when they brung them here. When everybody sleep, that's when they brung them here probably. On buses, I saw New York plates. I saw Washington, D.C. plates. So they have that much money to come from Washington, D.C. to do this, to do that. Why are they not helping the people here first?
Yes, ma'am. We
need help.
Let's talk to one of the counselors.
Yes.
Ms. Murphy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
When you hear the passion right here from...
That's what I hear in my office all the time. And it is a balance. Like I was telling you earlier, the state owns this building, so the governor has to make a decision on where to put the overflow migrants. But at the same time, the community needs to make sure that that we keep their services in place.
Why would they declare Boston as a sanctuary city?
I mean, I think a lot of cities across this country are, once they declare themselves a sanctuary city, I'm not sure if they knew the amount of support we were going to need to give.
Was that, I know you're a Democrat, but do you think declaring cities as sanctuaries was a mistake in retrospect?
Looking back, if our communities end up losing the services they need to live full lives, I think we may be questioning that. We do have to find a balance to make sure that these migrant families have a safe place to go. But at the same time, my concern, I'm an elected official here. I represent the whole city, and I'm the chair of public health in the last 2 years in homelessness. And I've centered my advocacy and policy on making sure that every resident has the resources they need. And I'm hearing that seniors and kids, like Effie was just telling us, that her own family, right, might be disrupted. So I'm making sure that the city is stepping up and connecting with all the departments so that these displaced, residents who use this every day.
Let's bring Keisha back in here. Keisha, you hear that from your counselor. What do you want done right now?
Like she said, we want to help them, but at the same time, what about us that need help here? What about, I'm a mother and I have 4 children. They need help. They need somewhere to go. They need something to do.
What type of activities used to be in this building?
Skating ring, exercising, like a place where you can just go chill and stay out of trouble. Now we have to find other places.
What's going to be the consequence of this being changed and just to migrants? Where are those kids going to go right now?
Probably to the streets. To the streets. where most of them are already at. Like when we look for help, it seems like the state and the governor and them people, they push us away. They want to turn our children to animals. They want our children to be bad and F up. Yeah. We want better for our community, but this right here is going to be a shit show, and it's going to be crazy.
Thank you so much,
This is going to be crazy.
And I'm sorry about that, guys, but that's just the passion out here. People are upset because they don't feel like the people that are in power are representing them.
Yes.
We'll have a reaction here all morning.
Sean, point blank, where do these kids in this community go for the next 4 months? Kids, many of whom are vulnerable and need this center for recreation and, quite frankly, to stay off the streets.
They're being dispersed by the governor. She doesn't care. Remember, her priorities are these illegal immigrants. You want to house them by taking their Roxbury's resources and giving them to a bunch of illegals, like you said, criminals who came here illegally across our borders. And she has no mind what she's going to do with our people. She's taking resources from Roxbury and also from all across Massachusetts with people who are struggling now. Her responsibilities are to Massachusetts, not someone who hopped over the border.
Why don't these two, Wu and Healey, just tell Joe Biden, their Democrat leader, to just shut the border and enforce the law at the border? Then none of this would be necessary. Do you ask yourself that?
I know exactly why. They're in contact with Joe Biden's White House, and they're going along with his agenda with basically replacing us residents as their new voters and their cheap workforce labor. Again, Boston is full. They don't care about us. They only care about their agenda and their political careers at our expense.
Like I said at the beginning, elections have consequences, and you genius voted for this. So I'll leave you with this article from CBS News. Groups are forced out as the center becomes a shelter for illegal migrants. But listen to this. Hundreds of people use the center on any given day. It is a community hub for people in Roxbury, and it also hosts many athletic clubs for all ages. That's all over, bro. But those organizations will be forced to find other places to meet after the state announced that it will turn the rec center into a safety net site to help with the emergency shelter program for illegal migrants, of course. I want to say this. In their twisted mind, Democrats do not work for you. Every single time you vote for Democrats, you give them the power to do whatever they want. And guess what? 99% of the time, it won't be in your best interest. That's a fact. They do whatever they want. And right now, they are looking for new voters. And that's my opinion, of course. It's Trump 2024. You let me know what you think about this in the comment section. You voted for this.